All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. So, what's the mighty Psycho going to be doing today? Well, we are in our continuous quest, ladies and gentlemen, our continuous quest for misunderstood records or stuff that did not get very acclaimed, if you will. Or we just throw out occasional curveballs and screwy stuff. We are speaking about the future award-winning Jukebox from Hell. That's right. We have had excellent responses over the last few weeks on this series. If you have not gone and seen my last episode, which was on the Monkees for the 1987 album Pool It, I would suggest, if you're a Monkees fan, or even just a fan of 80s music, to go check out that episode. But today, we are going way back, 14 years before that, to October 1973, to see this classic album here from Styx, The Serpent is Rising. That's right. Here's the front, here's the back, and I've got research. Also, I want to mention that there actually was several requests for this album to be reviewed here in the Jukebox from Hell. So if I could read my own writing, sometimes it's hard for me. So this was requested by Darwin Gushard 526 channel on YouTube. Also Tim Smith from Tim's Thrifty Music. Now he went off in the past and went off and said that, Paul, you should explore original Styx from the Wood Nickel Records catalog. And this is part of that request. Also, another gentleman, excellent radio DJ, okay, Ronnie Dark out of Syracuse, New York. Quick commercial here. He has a show on Sundays from 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time out of Syracuse, New York, called The Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark. And I want to do a quick shout out to Ronnie Dark and the Commander John Walsh and Mike Adams. Always doing a great job. I try to listen when I can, but those are the three that pretty much would have requested this album here. I got my research done. Of course, that is gleaned from Styx's official website, wiki, AllMusic, a whole bunch of things, okay? So, this here, the third album from Styx, alright? We've got here this was, like I said, on Wood Nickel Records, which they were attached to RCA at that time. Wood Nickel was run by Bill Trout, Bill Trout in the Chicago music scene definitely was a figurehead going back at least to the mid-60s, alright? He ends up playing sax on one of these tracks, go figure. But like I said before, Styx 2 was previously released July 1973 and would have the big hit Lady. It wasn't a big hit in 73, mind you. That would take on its own little story later. But this album here only made it to 192 on the Billboard 200. 192, all right? One single released, Winner Takes All, didn't chart. Dennis DeYoung was quoted, one of the worst recorded and produced albums in the history of music. That's what Dennis said. I say, what the hell? Your lineup here, your classic characters. This is the original lineup of Styx. Dennis DeYoung, of course, on vocals, keys, and accordion. James Young, good old JY, on vocals and guitars. John Kurulewski. I have a hard time saying that. Vox, guitars, and synths. And the twins Chuck and John Panazzos. Chuck on bass, backing vocal on Hallelujah Chorus, and John drums, percussion, and backing vocals on Hallelujah Chorus. to give you a record collector standpoint. Unfortunately, as you could see, mine's a little dog-eared. I've had people comment about this cover and how they love it, and it's like badass. But it also, of course, looks like something like if Photoshop existed in the 70s, right? It kind of, the cover, you know, I get it, but maybe the cover could have been a little more cooler, I guess, you know. But you're going to be talking about wooden nickel here. That's what the label looks like. My copy actually is pretty, that's a hair, okay. It's pretty minty. It's at least near minty for this. And it sounded really, really good on my turntable here. So let's go track by track, as we always like to do, for this particular one. So we start off, there's 9 tracks on this. We start off with Witch Wolf, a great rocker to start this off. I was trying to figure out where I heard this melody before, and it took me a little bit, but like most of the melody, not all of it, sounds like Jesus Is Just All Right, which the Byrds did originally, and then the Doobie Brothers in 72. Notice I said 72. This album comes out in 73. So they gleaned, I think, in my opinion, part of the tune from the Doobies. I could be wrong, but it really does. The backing melodies do sound like Jesus Is Just All Right. Some people, I've been, in the forums and the comments and stuff, have described this particular song to be proto-metal, all right? Definitely love the musical marriage between prog and hard rock on this. Of course, James Young does great vocals here. Track 2, Grove of Eglantine. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. A really great tune from Dennis. You know, to me, it sounds like about 2 lovers having a hookup. Dennis supposedly said, this is kind of about a vagina. I'm going, what? It's just very strange. Listen to it, judge for yourself, be your own musical detective. But I did look into the lyrics, and to me, that's what it sounds like, is 2 lovers having a hookup. But what a very cool, underrated song on future copulation. Oh boy. Number 3, Young Man. Wow. James Young does it again. A great song, and the backing vocals grab you by the throat at times. And towards the end, has a Queensryche-like vocal. Seriously, like a Queensryche-like vocal at the end of the tune. Track 4. So track 4 is way different here. Bear with me. Track 4 is As Bad As This Is. That is part A. Part B, oh boy, is Plexiglass Toilet. A lot of people have talked about Plexiglass Toilet. So let me read this all, okay? So John Krylowski, it's his turn to sing this time, and it's really 2 parts, as I said. As Is, As Bad As It is part 1. Part 2, Plexiglass Toilet. You heard me right. JC, hats off to you for making a serious song which turns into hilarity. Yeah, you heard me right. And truth, you may agree or disagree, but as far as for early Styx was concerned, he was a big part of that band, and he's missed. And I personally miss him after Equinox, which we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. Now, the Plexiglass Toilet part almost sounds like the Jamaican song Tallyman. You'll have to hear it for yourself. That's all I'm going to tell you on that. All right. Track 5. The song, of course, that made it to a single, Winner Takes All. Another great JY tune with Dennis backing vocals. It's a really good rocker that has light flourishes of Journey to it. We're talking like a little bit future Journey. All right. Track 6, 22 Years. John Krylowski wrote it. Dennis and JY sing it. Another good rocker. The harmonies and the guitar work well here. Then we go into, I think, truthfully, your next couple tracks, okay, are going to be probably your most proggiest. I said proggy. Yeah. early Styx had definitely prog in it. All right. So you're going from 22 years, track 7, Jonas Salter. All right. And great proggy song sung by JY about a pirate's tale. Wow, just wow. That's what I wrote. Then we go into track 8, the title track, The Serpent is Rising. John Kurlowski back on vocals, loving this. So John here at times sounds like a raspy Alice Cooper. Music-wise, at times, it has an early King Crimson kind of vibe. So if you like Crimson, you may want to check that out. And that ending, oh yeah. We finally close out with track 9, Krakatoa / Hallelujah chorus. Krakatoa, of course, being that volcano in the 1880s that, oh boy, what a mess that was. But so for Krakatoa, it starts out a little like a cross between Crazy World of Arthur Brown and once again a raspy Alice Cooper voice. Now that part of the song, part of that song was taken from a 1970 Beaver and Krause album, In a Wild Sanctuary, and they're credited on the album for that Krakatoa portion. You go from Krakatoa into the Hallelujah chorus, as in we're talking about Tabernacle Church Choir, Hallelujah chorus. All 5 members do the Hallelujah part. Dennis, of course, playing the pipe organ at a church in Chicago that nobody really mentioned where it's from. So that's how you close out your album. All right? Afterwards. Always an afterwards. They tour for this record, of course. Their next album, Man of Miracles, would be released in October 1974. It would improve on the charts some, though, to 154 on the Billboard 200. But as we know, Styx fans, Equinox gets released on A&M Records in December 1975. That same month, John Kurlowski leaves. Band finds replacement very quickly with former MS Funk Tommy Shaw. And that's another story for another day. So, yes, my opinion, you know, and a-holes and opinions, we all have one. But my opinion on this record, my God, okay? I am so glad I got to totally explore this LP. Dennis, I'm sorry, Dennis, I love you, but you're nuts. You're really nuts in regards to your assessment on this album. And that's your assessment. You were one of the people on this thing. I think this is a really, really damn good record. Great record? I don't know. It borderlines on that. But let me explain something here. Styx is mostly obviously known for arena rock, at least to most of you people, especially when you start getting into the Kilroy Was Here and that, and Paradise Theater there, okay? But it would behoove you to check out the Wooden Nickel Records Styx catalog of those first 4 albums, and then Equinox, okay? You get that original lineup. I'm telling you, there's a lot of underrated stuff here. Seriously, go seek this out. You will not be sorry, and your ears might get open a little wider. So I know that you're asking yourself, oh boy, and some of you aren't. And that, by the way, I forgot to tell you on the scorecards, that's episode 18 here from Jukebox from Hell is Styx. So what is the next episode of Jukebox from Hell? Episode 19. We are almost at the end of season 2, ladies and gentlemen. All right? This one's going to be a real weird curveball episode. I mean it too. You'll find out why in a second. So we go flash forward, all right, about 7.5 years. We're going to go June 1981 for this next one. This popular late 70s band, very popular in the disco and pop circles. Yeah, I said disco. So after a disastrous 1980 movie, they get let go from their label. That mixed with there was already label politics going on anyway. And in 1981, they signed with RCA Records. We are going to be exploring on the next Jukebox from Hell the Village People's Renaissance. Yeah, you heard me right. Village People. I never thought in my psycho existence I'd be reviewing a Village People. But some people suggested it, and we will do it. So, let me ask you something. Did you get this album when it first came out? If so, did you like it? Do you love it? Are you a Styx fan? If so, what is your favorite era of the band? Or what's your favorite album or song from Styx? I'm telling you, I have to love my Chicagoland bands. That's where I'm originally from. I represent all for the Chicago groups. Okay, so let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any future suggestions for a Jukebox from Hell episode. I've already been given at least a dozen suggestions, and some of them will be inserted into Season 3 of Jukebox from Hell, which that will be before the end of the year. So once again, take care. God bless. Rock on. Always powered by coffee, each and every time. Please like and subscribe. I really kind of want to get close to that 1,000 mark. That would be very important to me. And but thank you. You guys take care. Have a great week.